Welcome to the Thriving Therapreneur podcast, the show for ambitious therapists who are ready to unapologetically make more money, scale their impact, and build their dream coaching business. I'm Carly Hill, therapist turned coach turned CEO of a seven-figure online business. I created the Thriving Therapreneur podcast because I'm obsessed with helping big-hearted therapists outgrow the office and build successful and sustainable online businesses. So, if you are wondering how you can continue to make an impact without sacrificing the life you love, welcome, Therapreneur. This is exactly the place for you. Think of it like the business school we never had. I am so excited to dive in with you. Let's get started. This episode is for my fellow mamas. Hello, mamas. I'm so excited to be in your earbuds today. And I was just sitting here recording other episodes and pumping. And I thought to myself, I need to record an episode on motherhood. Because here's the reality of my life. There is usually spit up on my shirt, milk that needs to be frozen in the fridge. There's sweet potatoes smeared across my leggings. My coffee, I just long accepted that it'll be iced by default. I prefer iced anyways. It's whatever. I'm usually voice noting my team one-handed while either chasing a tummy time crab across the floor or ordering diapers, replying to a client while simultaneously trying to do dishes or laundry. I haven't brushed my teeth yet. It's almost noon. I'm pretty sure I've worn this sports bra for 3 days. But I'm also running a multimillion-dollar company. I'm serving hundreds of clients. I'm helping women birth businesses while they're raising babies too. And this is what it looks like. It's not balance. I don't really believe in the word balance. I think that it's really brilliance in motion. Mothers are fucking brilliant. Motherhood didn't make me smaller. A lot of people say they lose themselves in motherhood. This wasn't the story for me. It didn't make me smaller. It really just made me softer. It made me smarter. It made me sharper. It cracked me open and stripped away all the performative fluff. Like, I'm getting goosebumps as I'm even saying this, and it actually kind of makes me emotional. Like, it made me more efficient, more focused, more intentional than I have ever been in my life. It taught me to receive, to rest, to restructure. And in doing so, it made me richer financially, emotionally, spiritually. And the funny thing is, the ironic part of all of this, if I'm being really honest, is when I found out I was pregnant, I was very excited and grateful. I've always wanted to be a mom, but I was also scared. I was afraid to announce it publicly. I was afraid people would think I was going to slow down. Really what it came down to was I was afraid clients would stop coming. I was afraid the business I've poured my soul into would just pause. It was so irrational, but for so long, my business was my baby. It was the thing I nurtured and built and protected. And suddenly I was going to have two babies. I was going to have a human baby and a business baby. And I just wasn't sure how those identities were going to coexist. I had this irrational fear that everything that I built would crumble the moment I became a mom. What actually happened was the polar opposite, the exact opposite. My business didn't shrink, it grew. I made over $500,000 while on maternity leave, not taking one coaching call. Clients didn't stop coming. In fact, I started attracting even more mom clients, women who saw themselves in me, who saw possibility in my story. And I thought motherhood might make me less visible, but what actually happened was it made me more relatable. It made me more magnetic. It made me more expansive. Like I said, it just cracked me open. It made me softer. That season taught me one of the biggest lessons of my life. I had to trust myself as a mother just as much as I had trusted myself in business. I knew how to lead teams. I know how to sell. I knew how to build. But now I had to learn how to trust that my identity, because this is what it comes down to, my identity could hold both. And what's wild is that fear wasn't just about time. It really was about identity. For so long, I had tied my sense of worth and safety and power to how I showed up in business. Business was where I felt safe. It was my obsession. I knew who I was there in my business. Not always, but I had grown into that identity. But motherhood, it forced me to expand that identity, to trust that I could hold more. And part of that was my relationship with money. Before this chapter of my life, money had been something I had controlled tightly because it's something that I worked so hard for. I did have fears around spending and losing money. I wrote a letter to money many years ago, and I talk about my money wounds and how I used to even return things because I felt like I needed the money back. Like I was afraid it was going to run out. I didn't even realize how much of my safety lived in that relationship until I had to let go and trust that money would still flow even if I wasn't constantly hustling. I used to be terrified to talk about money too. I carried a lot of guilt around money. I think a lot of people are afraid to talk about money. It's like this hush hush thing. And I carried stories around from childhood, from culture, from this unspoken idea that women, especially mothers, they shouldn't want too much. Don't be too much. Don't want too much. But when I started healing that relationship, everything shifted. Everything shifted. I realized that money wasn't something I had to chase. It was something I could become an energetic match for. Everything works through resonance. This is how the law of attraction works. So when we can reverse engineer the quantum world and study physics, everything makes sense with money. Money is infinite. It can be hard to make sense of something that's infinite and master something that's infinite, but how we do that is just mastering ourselves. Motherhood and money go hand in hand. Motherhood didn't shrink me, it expanded me. And I think one of the biggest lies sold to women is the idea that we have to choose, that you want to be this good mom and then your ambition gets smaller. And if you want to make a lot of money, you have to trade your presence for performance. But I am not choosing. I'm building both. I'm building a multi-8-figure empire while growing my family. I'm currently scaling from 7 to 8 figures. Not because it's easy, because it's not, but because it's possible. Motherhood hasn't made my dreams shrink at all. It's absolutely made my vision expand more and more over and over and over and over again. So we were told this lie that we had to choose. We were told that motherhood requires us to give everything, that building wealth means trading time for money, that ambition and nurturing, they can't coexist. We were told to choose. But that's not my story, and it doesn't have to be yours. Be a good mom or a powerful entrepreneur. Have time for our babies or time for our dreams. Be nurturing or be wealthy. Be soft or be successful. But we were never meant to choose. We were meant to create, to birth. That's quite literally what we do as mothers. To birth things seen and unseen, to lead movements and hold babies. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry again. To rewrite legacies. To rewrite legacies and bedtime stories at the same time. This is what happens when a woman is both well-resourced and wildly maternal. I don't know why I'm so emotional recording this, but here's my vision. While I'm raising a family and while I'm scaling to 7 figures, and it's not by working more, I must add that. It's not by hustling harder. It's by creating systems and teams and wealth vehicles that work for us. My definition of success includes morning snuggles. I love my mornings. Home-cooked meals, even though my husband cooks most of the time. He's a wonderful cook. But that's my definition of success. Midday breaks where I can just be with my baby. I love coming out of my office and just hanging out. An empire that runs even when I'm in mama mode. Before becoming a mom, money meant something different to me. It meant freedom. It meant travel. It meant expansion. But now, money also means stability, legacy, leverage. It looks like lean teams, very strong leadership. It looks like reoccurring revenue. I've been working really hard on that in my business. It means scalable offers, strategic investing outside of business. I've also been really studying and working hard on that. Same with tax strategy. This keeps wealth in our ecosystem. It also means built-in time off for maternity, for motherhood, without losing momentum. Being present as a mom while the business continues to run. I don't want a bigger business at the cost of my family. I want a bigger business because of my family. Hey there, did you know we give away one of our incredible digital products every single week? All you have to do is leave a review for the show, then submit proof using the link in the show notes, and you'll be entered to win. Prizes include amazing resources like our passive income course, the license protection bundle, top business trainings, my best-selling book, and so much more. It's super simple, and your review helps us reach more listeners just like you. So take a moment to share your thoughts, enter to win, and maybe you'll be our next winner. Let's talk about some actual wealth money moves I'm making, because maybe you're curious. And we talk a lot about making money, but I don't think we talk enough about keeping it. At least that's my observation. So this is what wealth looks like when it's built with intention. Here's some things I'm doing. I'm investing in stocks. I have a high yield savings account. Real estate's part of the plan, not yet. I'm quietly, consistently building long-term wealth in the background while also running a business and a family. We leverage the Augusta rule. We pay our family. We have a solo 401k. Elias has bank accounts. We utilize S-corp structure and invest through Roth IRAs. I actually just switched to a C-corp, though, because I'm in the highest tax bracket, and that's just what made sense for the business. But our home isn't just a home. It's part of the strategy. This isn't about gaming the system either. This is about understanding that the system already exists and deciding it can work for us too. Money doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. Quiet wealth creates safety, in my opinion, stability. It creates options. It gives me the ability to build my vision while being the kind of mom that I want to be. And none of these moves would have meant anything if I hadn't shifted my internal operating system. Again, I'm tying it back to identity here. My relationship with money, it used to be full of guilt and shame and fear. I would avoid looking at it. I'd make it mean something about me, like having or wanting more money made me greedy. I would just spend carelessly. But money is neutral. Money isn't judging you. It's responding to the energy you hold toward it. I had to rewrite old stories. I had to rewire my relationship with money. I had to update the old software in my brain that said, you can either be nurturing or wealthy, but not both. And now I see money as a partner in my legacy, not something I serve, something that serves me. Money serves me. Money helps me. I love money, and I'm not greedy for that, but money supports me. Money supports my family. Money supports my vision. Money supports my mission. It's something that serves me, my family, and my community. Being well-resourced isn't a luxury for mothers. In my opinion, I really think it's a necessity, because how are we supposed to raise whole, healthy children if we're exhausted, we're resentful, we're buried under the weight of trying to do it all alone? And don't get me wrong, I'm still exhausted over here. My baby's 7 months, we don't have childcare, and breastfeeding, sleep is a struggle, working on it. But I do have the freedom, flexibility, and security in my life to have a housekeeper that comes once a week, work from my laptop on the couch between naps, having a team handle things. My husband and I switch off. It just works. But I know that as we continue to grow our family, we're going to need more and more resources, because we're not supposed to do this alone. And we've been told that being a good mom means self-sacrifice. But I've learned that being a powerful mom means self-sourcing. When a woman is well-resourced, financially, mentally, emotionally, all of it, the ripple effect touches generations. Resourced mothers create powerful families, and powerful families build legacies. And this is why I refuse to stay small. I'm not building this business to prove anything to anybody. I'm building it to create a blueprint. This isn't about chasing numbers for ego. No, it's about creating a life that holds both ambition and softness. It holds strategy and snuggles. For my son, for my future babies, for every woman who's watching and whispering, is that really possible? Yes, it fucking is. And I want my children to grow up not just with assets, but with an identity. To know They come from a line of women who refused to shrink, who built, who created, who led, who also snuggled, nursed, played, and were present. This isn't just wealth. This is legacy in motion. Oh my gosh, it's so powerful. So I'm going to leave you with some mantras. I wrote these down before I sat down to record this episode. You can adapt them as your own if that feels good for you. But these are some mantras I live by. This is mantras for the modern, wealthy mother. Money doesn't make me less of a mom. It makes me more present. I can grow my empire and grow my babies. I'm not shrinking my dreams to fit into someone else's model of motherhood. Wealth is a family strategy, not a solo mission. I am becoming the woman my children will inherit their story from. Identity is everything, guys. Because if you're trying to build wealth from an old identity that doesn't believe she's worthy of it, safe with it, or capable of holding it, it's not going to stick. So these mantras are going to help you shift your identity. Who I was when I started this journey is completely different than who I am now. I'm talking about the journey of motherhood. I used to think that money would stop coming if I slowed down, or that motherhood would take me out of the game, or that rest was something that I had to earn. But now I trust that wealth flows even when I'm not in CEO mode, when I'm on mama mode. I know my power doesn't shrink as I continue on into motherhood. It's only going to expand. It's expanding as we speak. And I used to feel like money was this distant thing I had to chase, but money's a friend. It's a partner. It's a steady hum in the background of my life. It's supporting the mission. It's not dictating it. When I wrote that letter to money a few years ago, I had said that money fell out of my league. The level of money I desired seemed suitable for other people, but not for me. I had to change my story and my identity around this. And that's when everything changed. So I just want to leave you with some questions to sit with. What does wealth mean to you as a mom, or as a woman who wants to become a mom? Where in your life are you still choosing either or, when you were made for both? You don't have to choose. And what would your 7-8-figure vision look like? If you were to fully claim that, what would it look like? I'm going to dare you to dream. And where could you start building quiet wealth in the background of your everyday life today? Because this vision doesn't have to wait. You don't have to pick between your children and your dreams. You get to build something that nourishes both. Man, my love is with you. Every mother building empires with babies on your hips. You're not behind, you're not behind, you're not behind. You're doing it. You don't have to choose between freedom and family. You get to create a life that holds both. This is what money and motherhood looks like. This is legacy in real time. This isn't balance, it's brilliance. It's brilliance in motion. If this conversation lit something up in you, or it made you emotional like it did me, come find me on Instagram, shoot me a message, and just tell me what it brought up in you. I love you, my fellow mama. We're in this together. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Thriving Therapreneur podcast. I hope that this episode has inspired you to reduce burnout, work smarter, and see the freedom potential you have as a therapist. We would love to have you inside the Therapist to Coach Accelerator Facebook group, where we have live trainings and cheat sheets on all things marketing, sales, and adding coaching ethically and legally. I am here cheering you on, and I'll see you around.